Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beat the Book. As always, I'm one of your hosts on this show, MattyBets, joined by my partner in crime over there,
BigAL Bettor. How you doing tonight, Matt?
Big Al. Doing good, doing good. Ready for some ready for some more football. We got a couple more sports right around the corner, about to kick off. We
Hmm
got hockey, we got basketball. I mean, this is one of the best times of the year. We both love basketball, both kind of want to get into hockey, haven't really yet, but you know, it's going to be exciting, next month, 2 months to come. But we still got football, so we're doing Sunday, week 7, the slate of games. It's going to be great. We got another London game this week.
We do. I think it's the last one too.
Should be. I believe it is. I'm not sure. I don't think they're doing another Mexico City game this year. So
Yeah, I don't think so either, but I don't know for sure.
who's to say? We'll cover that when we get to that week. But yeah, I mean,
Yep.
as you guys know, if you guys have been around the block a time or two for these, Sunday slate videos, what we do is we go through the games. We kind of give our picks on the games with the spread or the over under. We each bring 5 picks to the table, and then we agree on 3. So out of the 10 picks, we take 3 of those. We lock those in as our locks of the week, best bets of the week, whatever you want to call it. We call it our best bets, and our locks we kind of switch back and forth. Name doesn't really matter. It's more so about the content and the fact that we have the meeting of the minds and we get those picks settled and in, and the ones that we feel the best about. Next, we jump into our touchdown prop parlays. We have touchdown parlay, we got a prop parlay, and then we also have a 6 game teaser. Anything I missed there, Big Al?
No, not at all. 6 point teaser. I'm on a hot streak. I've hit the last two. You've been one off, I think, on all three you've made. And then
Mm-hmm.
for our locks of the week on the season, our record is 9-8-1. So we've hit 9, we've lost 8, and then we had a push last week. So we were just short of a perfect stretch last week. We got 2 of the 3. The third was a push. It was the Commanders +7. So
Mm-hmm.
um, we are positive on the season, which is what you're looking for in sports betting.
Yep, and also the first week that we've been that close to a sweep. We have gone two and
Yes.
one, 2-1. We've gone 1-2. But last week was a really good showing. Like we said, as the season goes on, we're gonna get better at picking these games. And like I said at the beginning, like bringing 10 games to the table is really advantageous for us and also for you guys because you guys get to hear us talk about each other's picks, which ones we like, which ones we don't like, and why we don't, and then also why we do. So without further ado, you want to jump
Hmm
into your picks for this week?
Yeah, I can go first. So the first pick I've got for my 5 I brought, I've got the Packers Texans game. I'm just taking the over. It was at
Just the
47.
over.
It was at 47 and a half a couple days ago. It's moved to 48 and a half on DraftKings. I don't know if you can still find a 47 and a half out there, but
FanDuel still has a
the
47.5.
okay, there you go. The Packers are averaging 27 points a game, and the Texans are averaging 23 points a game. So you put that together, you're at 50. So that feels pretty gettable. So I really like that line. The Packers have been killing it ever since Jordan Love came back. Their 2 lower scoring games were without Jordan Love when they had Malik Willis. Love's lowest scoring game since he's been back was 21 or 24. It was when they played the Rams. Um, and other than that, he's been in like around 30. So I love that. My other pick, Seahawks +3. They're playing the Falcons. They're on the road, but they're coming off 3 straight losses. So I think it's time to turn the ship around. I think they're going to do that. The Falcons have been playing good ball, but I just think 3 points is too much. I think the Falcons probably still win the game, but the Falcons let people score on them. So I like Seattle to go in there and get the job done as far as covering. I think they can actually win it too if they want because the Falcons haven't shown they can really stop anybody. My third pick, I really like this one just because it's so many points. The Titans +9. It's moved to 9.5 on DraftKings. They're playing the Bills in Buffalo, but the Titans defense is still real. We know that, and the Titans have not lost a game by more than 9 this season. So it feels
Okay.
like too many points. If it was 6, I'd be like, okay, give me the Bills. But it's not 6; it's 9, and so it just feels like too many points for me, especially with the Bills coming off Monday night against the Jets. I just the Titans they've hung around in every game, so I like the Titans a lot here. Then I've got the Eagles -3.
Okay.
Um, they're playing the Browns. No, they're not playing the Browns. They're playing. Who are they playing?
They're playing the Giants
There you go,
in
the
New York.
Giants. Yeah, so it's a divisional game. It's on the road, but I mean the Eagles have AJ Brown back. They're a much better team with AJ Brown, so I think winning by a field goal isn't going to be too hard for them. They'll probably win by 7. And then my final pick, Titans Bills. I'm on the over 41 points.
Oh, you're on the over for that game.
Yeah, like I said with the Titans, every game they've scored at least 17 points.
Okay. If you're going with the over, I
And
do have 40.5 on FanDuel.
okay, so if the Titans are going to get 17, and you assume the Bills are going to win the game, right?
Yeah.
If they get to 24, you're at your 41. That's
Yep.
winning by a touchdown, and the book thinks they're going to lose by 9. Um, so I like the over in that game because the Titans are going to score points, and we know what the Bills are. So I like that game going over.
Okay. I mean, I got all yours written down. I don't mind them. I will say this is actually the first time we've been able to do this, and I get to tell you how many games we agree on and how many picks
That
that
is
we
true.
agree on. I have not been able to do that this year. This whole entire year, I've been the one bringing my games first. You'll bring yours. You'll be like, hey, we agree on this.
Yep.
We don't agree on any. We agree on one this week, and we can pencil that down. We
Okay.
can just get it out of the way, and that's the Eagles -3
Okay.
against the Giants. I do like the Giants defense a lot in this matchup, especially them being at home. But I think the
Okay.
Eagles are all the way back now that their receiver core is healthy. So I do like the Eagles. They kind of showed a glimpse of who they are, and they're kind of back from what we saw last year. Obviously, not as good. Losing Jason Kelsey, I think, did a little bit more damage than people realized and what people
Sure.
expected. But yeah, I definitely like the Eagles here at -3 on the road. Now I'm gonna go to my other ones. Packers Texans. I took the
Okay.
Packers -2.5. I've been
Okay.
kind of a Texans hater this year. I am a Colts fan, but at the same time too, I think the Texans are a little overrated. Um, I honestly thought they were going to score a lot more points last week against the Patriots. They did not. I mean, at the end they scored 2 more touchdowns, but it was actually a close game at halftime. So Texans, they kind of struggle a little bit. I love what the Packers have been doing. They've been airing the ball out. They've just been scoring points on everybody. They scored tons of points on the Vikings right before the Vikings bye week, and Vikings
Yep.
have the number one defense in football right now. So I do like that a lot. Love the Packers. I am kind of interested with the over there that you mentioned. So maybe we'll,
Okay.
we'll we'll go back to that one and talk about that if we like the Packers more. Obviously, you didn't put the Packers there at -2.5, and that's because you're a Packer homer. So I understand why you did that and why you went with the over. But next, I got Colts -3 against the Dolphins. Dolphins are coming to town. Tua's still not back. Dolphins don't look good at all. Uh, Colts get Anthony Richardson back, so obviously I can see why you're a little hesitant there. Uh, but I do like the Colts there, -3. I don't see him losing to the Dolphins. And then we already agreed on the Eagles and Giants. Next, I'm going Bengals -5.5 against the Browns
Really?
in Cleveland. Cleveland lost their best receiver in Amari Cooper. They just traded him away. Browns' offense is a dumpster fire. Their defense is still decent, but it's not as great as we thought it was going to be. And we saw, 2 weeks ago, we saw Jaden Daniels destroy them. So I like the Bengals and Joe Burrow. Things are going to get chilly there, in Cleveland. I like the Bengals to be able to take care of business there, win by 5. Uh, and then last pick for me is Panthers at Washington. I like the over in that game, 51.5 points. Like you've been saying, you've been on the Panthers like the whole year.
Okay.
Once they changed quarterbacks.
Whoa. Whoa. I haven't been
Once
on them as in picking them.
No, you've been on them as picking the over in games that they're in because of how they do and how many points they score. And we know what the Commanders can do with Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, Brian Robinson. Love that team. Let's go with the over in that at 51.5. It's a really high over,
51.
but I love that.
Yeah. I don't know if we've lost a bet um, that when I don't know if I think they've hit the over every single time Carolina's games.
Yes, I think that you're actually right. In the book, I think keeps raising it too. But then they keep getting matched up against these teams that actually have really good offenses. And then it's just
Right.
a shootout. And it's an exciting game. The Panthers usually lose, but I mean, at least they're scoring points as opposed to the first 2 weeks when they weren't scoring anything.
Right.
hmm So we have the Eagles and Giants penciled in. Let's talk about Packers Texans because I really want a
Okay.
piece of this game.
Okay.
And
I
I do. Good.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I do like the over. I don't mind
Okay.
jumping over to that side. I just like this game a lot. I like the Packers to be able to win this, and they're at home. How do the
Yep.
Packers lose at home? Tell me that.
No, they should not lose at home. This is going to be, like one of the best teams the Texans have played. Like I said, I already laid out the 23 points a game for the Texans, 27 points a game for the Packers. I I don't see The only reason I took the over instead of the Packers is just in case we do somehow lose this game. We're not going to lose it 17-10 or 17-14 or something. Like
Yeah.
it's going to be a high scoring game where, CJ Stroud makes a drive at the end of the game to win it, or Love tries to make a drive at the end to win it and throws a pick or something. So I just thought if we didn't want to have to pick a winner, we just take the over, trust it, and then just keep it moving.
Hmm. I get that. Also, the Packers do lead the NFL in takeaways. They've had one
Yes, we
or
do.
two every week. They have the most week with multiples. Uh,
Yep.
really love the Packers to get a takeaway here in that game. And I think that's the only reason why this over wouldn't hit is if the Packers somehow pump the brakes a little bit and they're up 21-3 with like two interceptions and a fumble recovery and it's just a bad showing for the Texans and the Packers are like, okay, we're just going to run the ball a little bit, kind of just burn clock, and then it's like a 27-10 game.
Sure.
But
Sure.
neither of us think it's going that way. So I'll leave this in your hands because I feel good about either, and I know that you probably want to take the Packers at -2. But if you like the over more, we can jump to that.
So I will say shout out to Michael Lombardi. If you guys don't know, he has his own podcast called the GM Shuffle. I listen to it all the time. He likes the Packers a lot this week, which I was already on him before I listened to his show. But he said he really likes the Packers this week. He doesn't know how the Texans are going to get explosive plays without Nico Collins in. Um, so if you want to take the Packers minus the 2.5, I'm super down to do that. I just thought the over was a little bit of a safer pick.
Yeah, and I also do think like Joe Mixon is a very good running back. Since he's been
Sure.
on the Texans, he's been really good. The Packers' run defense isn't the best, as we know. So that's where they'll get their explosive plays. But at the same time, too, Packers' secondary is great. And I don't think in this game, especially if the Packers get to an early lead, that they're going to let Joe Mixon keep getting the ball. They're going to try to rely on CJ Stroud, get him the ball, put the ball in his hands, and try to air it down, try to catch up. And that's just not a good recipe that I want in this game. Is CJ Stroud trying to throw and trying to like win the game without Nico? So I like the Packers defense a little bit more in that situation.
Okay. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So you want to take Packers minus 2.5?
I love Packers -2.5.
Okay. Pencil it and trust it.
Pencil that in. Feel good about those
Okay.
first
We
two.
got one more we got to pick here.
Yep. I talked about mine. If you want to talk about one of yours, you can. Unless you want to just jump on Panthers Washington over.
I mean,
Unless you
I
feel
really
better about
like it.
like Bills
It's been
Titans.
You got to remember, like this is a team in Washington that before they played the Ravens were scoring 30 points a week,
Yep.
30 points a week, and they did that from week 2 on. So we know they're going to score 30 on a Carolina team that has a and they're coming off a loss, so they're going to want revenge. So they're going to dunk on these guys, and then
And
their defense is good, not great. So Carolina's going to be able to score on them, and Chuba Hubbard's been playing great. So you need 31, 32 from Washington, and then 20 from Carolina. I don't see how they don't get to it, right?
yeah, no, I'm right there with you. And like you said about the whole Washington's going to bully them. I mean, that's probably what's going to happen in this game. Like Washington, yeah, you lost to the Ravens. It was a close game. You lost by a touchdown. You had a chance
Mm-hmm.
at the end, but at the same time, it's Washington's going to want to make a statement in this game. Like they're playing against a bad team. You have to be able to beat bad teams if you want to make a playoff run, and if you want people to take you seriously. And it's not just you have a good quarterback now, and you're a fun team to watch on Sundays. It's no, we're the Commanders, and we're here to make the playoffs. And last week, yeah, we're going to take that bad taste out of our mouths, out of the fans' mouths, and we're going to prove that we're the best team in the NFC, or at least one of them. I think that's what they're going to try to do here, and I could see them scoring 40. So 40, and we only need 11 from the Panthers, even if it is like the bloodbath. I'll take that all day.
Well, and I think you raise a good point, but then on top of that, we all know if you're a good coach, which we think Dan Quinn is, good coaches know we have to win the division to guarantee a playoff spot. And now Washington should feel a little more pressure from the Eagles because they're starting to play better, and so they're going to feel them. They're like, hey, we got to get back on this winning thing. So I think they're just going to dunk on them. So yeah, let's pencil that in. Carolina at Washington over 40, over 51.5.
Perfect. Love that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there are the picks for locks of the week. Honorable mention. Do you want to mention any of these other ones and like
Other ones that I
why you put them
picked,
down for the fans out there, for the
uh,
people?
Colts Dolphins. I'll skip over. Um,
Okay.
but I want to talk about the Bengals. Bengals minus
Okay.
5.5, just because the Browns offense is terrible. That's my honorable mention. Bengals should
Yep.
win this game by 14, and if they don't, I would be shocked. Like,
Okay.
yeah, give me Bengals 14. Like, mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I I just got scared because it was a big number. Like, I think the Bengals will win, but I don't trust the Bengals defense. So, like, even though the Browns offense has been terrible, you can look good against a bad defense. So the Bengals haven't shown they can really stop anybody. They stopped the Giants, but did they really? The Giants didn't even have their best receiver. So
True.
who'd you really stop? And then I guess honorable mention, we already talked about Packers, Texans, Seahawks. I don't see how the Seahawks are going to lose 4 in a row. Like, we don't think they're that great of a team. We think that those first 3 games were kind of like they were overhyped, which is fine. But there's Geno's still leading the league in passing.
Hmm.
They're still throwing touchdowns. They're still scoring. Kenneth Walker, he's only been back for 2 or 3 games from his injury, so he's going to get going. And Atlanta's defense isn't anything great. So Seahawks, Falcons, I just think 3 points is too much for the Falcons to overcome. And then Titans plus 9, I already said Titans. It's 9 points. That's so many points in a game
Hmm. You
for a
said
team that's been within a touchdown in most of their games.
I will say, you said you don't see the Seahawks losing 4 in a row.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody saw the Saints losing 4 in a row either,
sure.
and they're 2-4.
They're 2-5.
Oh, they lost 5 in a row. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I mean, I could see the Seahawks losing this. I've been low on the Seahawks, so I don't like that pick at all. I was never gonna be like, yeah, let's take the Seahawks +3 at the Falcons. Like, but I mean, I like the +3 on the road against the Falcons. I like Kirk Cousins a lot, so and I like the weapons that they have there. So I was never gonna jump on board with that, but good honorable mention. We'll see. We'll come back to it next week. We'll see who was right, who was wrong. Time will tell.
Time will tell. But I mean, regardless, we have our locks of the week. So guys, locks of the week: Packers -2.5 or 3, depending on the book you play. Eagles -3, and then Carolina, Washington. We're taking the over on that game.
Yep, I
Currently
love
set
it.
at 51.5 on your books. That could change by the time you guys see this video, but that's what we're on. And we're locking those in as our locks of the week that we think are the best chance of hitting.
Yep, exactly. And that's what we do. That's what we do here. We take our bets. We bring the meeting of the minds. It's a big deal here for us at least because like we don't talk about these before we show up. Like we don't know what the other person wrote down. We don't know anything. That's why once one person goes, the second person says, "Hey, this is what we agree on right off the bat. Let's pencil it in." Obviously, we've both looked at all the games. We love these picks. So there you go. There you have it. And yeah, I mean, other than that, that's all we got for the picks. I mean, you want to jump into these parlays?
I'm ready.
All right, I'll start off first. We're gonna start with the touchdown scorers parlay. My favorite parlays
Yep.
of the week. I love it. It's my favorite time. I love taking touchdown scores. You guys know this if you guys been on the channel before. If not, welcome. Uh, First of all, we're going Brian Thomas Jr. Jags game. Uh, Jags versus the Patriots in London. I like Brian Thomas Jr. to get a touchdown here. He's the biggest star on that team, I would say. Uh, he just is. He's not the most expensive. He's still a rookie, but he is explosive. I like what he's been doing this year. He's at plus 165. Next, we're going to David Montgomery for the Lions. They're at the Vikings. Number 1 defense, like I was talking about earlier. I like David Montgomery to get in the end zone. That's just what he does. He's the bruiser, and get him down to the 5-yard line. He'll break one, or he'll even take one from 40 yards. Next, we're going Joe Mixon minus 105. Like we said, Texans
Mm.
Packers. Packers defense, their run defense isn't that good. Secondary is their strength. So I like Joe Mixon. That's just easy matchup right there. Next, we're going Khalil Shakir. This is if he plays. We still don't know if he's going to play. I'm assuming he is going to play. He's at plus 255 if he does play. So if he does not, pencil in somebody else on your own or just take him off of this parlay. You're still going to get really good odds, but I threw him on there just because I do like him this week against the Titans. Titans don't have a great defense. Next is T.
They
Higgins.
do have a great defense, actually.
Okay, well, it's still Josh Allen, so
They're top
love
10
it.
in both categories.
Okay, well, I
But
didn't know
okay.
that because
Okay.
their offense must be
That's why
that
I,
bad then.
that's why I said I like the Titans plus 9, because that defense keeps them in games.
Okay, well, next we're going T. Higgins. Not much to say. I mean, they're playing against the Browns. Browns do have a good defense, but I like T. Higgins a lot. He's been getting a huge amount of targets and great workload since he's been back from injury. Then last but not least, like you mentioned, we're taking Kenneth Walker against the Falcons. He's at minus
Mm.
155. That parlay pays out plus 11,300.
Holy.
It's 6 touchdown scores. It's 113 times a bet. So bet it now. Go to the books. Bet it now, and thank me later. Like I said,
If Shakir plays.
favorite time of the video.
Holy frick.
Yeah, we're going big.
Dang, mine looks pathetic by comparison. Also, Packers are actually more middle of the pack against the rest.
No, I know, but they've been getting gashed.
It looks like it, but
Yes.
they actually haven't. Like I'm
Well,
talking
probably
yards, like
compared to
yards
other
allowed
teams.
on the season. They're in the middle of the pack.
Okay, well
So,
that's fine,
all right,
but it's still Joe Mixon, and Joe Mixon's been killing it.
Joe Mixon's great. We love
Hmm.
Joe Mixon.
We love Joe
Okay, so I'm
Mixon.
gonna jump into mine. I've got Justin Jefferson coming off a bye, playing the Lions. The Lions safeties have actually been playing a lot better recently, but to me it's still like it's Justin Jefferson. What are we really talking about?
Yeah,
So I'm taking Justin Jefferson to score a touchdown. Then I also have Joe Mixon.
nice.
Um, then I have AJ Brown. He has scored a touchdown. He's played in 2 games this year. He has 2 touchdowns.
There
So
we
you
go.
just trust it. You take it. Scary Terry. He's on a 3-week streak now. So we're just going to keep riding this train until he stops.
Against the Panthers
And then
defense.
against the Panthers defense that just gives up all the points. So, and then I've got DK Metcalf because he has gone 3 weeks now without a touchdown. And then I have Kyron Williams for the Rams coming off a bye. And I just love that pick. They're playing the
Yep.
Raiders.
Yep, exactly. I love
And
Kyron
we all
Williams
know we
every
all
week.
know who Kyron Williams is, right? That plays out plus 4,000.
Okay. You went with
So
safer picks than me, for
not quite
sure.
as high as yours. Yeah.
I did
I
have a
would say
couple
the only
plus monies in
reach
there.
I think my only reach in there that I don't trust fully is probably DK.
Yeah, just because it's been so long since we've seen him in the end zone. Like you're kind of hoping
Right.
that he gets in, but you also know that the talent's there to be able to get in the end zone, and he should be like if you think about it realistically, like on paper, he should be a red zone target every single time. He's the
Well,
biggest receiver on your team. He can bully a smaller safety or a corner. Like it makes no
the
sense.
Bucks the Bucks put up what 38 on this Falcons team on that Thursday night football game,
Hmm.
and Geno has more yards than Baker, and DK is basically Mike Evans. So I I think that's going to be a high scoring game. So if there's lots of points, then he's bound to get one, break one away or whatever. So I really like it.
Nice. I like those picks too. We'll move on then.
All right, what you got? Yeah, let's move on to the
Props
props, dude.
parlay. Here we go. You're not gonna like a couple of these, but it's okay because I do. I love them, and it's gonna hit this week, and it's gonna be awesome. First of all, we're going Jamison Williams for the Lions. 50 plus receiving yards is at plus 105. You're getting plus money, 50 plus yards for Jamison Williams. We see it do it every week. I don't know how many more weeks he has to prove it. That's one catch. All he needs is one catch. He's getting 50 yards and a touchdown. Next, we're going T. Higgins, 60 plus yards. Like we talked about, we took it for a touchdown. Love the Bengals against the Browns defense here. I think Joe Burrow is going to be throwing the rock a lot and have a great day. He's at minus
Yep.
135. Book thinks what I'm thinking. Next, we're going Josh Allen over 25 and a half rushing yards. Josh Allen,
And you love Josh
I
Allen.
love Josh Allen. And like you said, if the Titans defense is anywhere decent and can actually stop Josh Allen from throwing the ball, he's going to do it with his legs. That's what he does. He'll bully some linebackers. It's always fun football to watch. That's at minus 170. Next, we're going for the Packers. Jaden Reed, 50 plus receiving yards. That's it in the minus 190. Love the Packers Texans for it to be a shootout. Love Jaden Reed there to get 50 yards. Next, we're going Devontae Smith. Devonta Smith, 50 plus receiving yards. That's at minus 175. Like
60
your
plus.
50 plus. 50
50
plus
plus.
minus 175. That parlay pays out plus 1259. So it's 12 and a half times your bet. And like we said, it's Eagles and Giants. I like the Eagles there. I like the Giants defense. Like we haven't really talked about a ton, but the defense is for real. And I mean, Devonta Smith is the second option there, and I like Devonta Smith to not be double covered. So AJ Brown
Okay.
takes the double covered, and Devonta Smith just does what we've seen him do years and years and years. So
So you got Jamison Williams 50 plus, T Higgins 60 plus,
yep.
Josh Allen 25 and a half plus rush,
Mm-hmm.
and Jaden Reed you had for 50 or 60.
50.
Okay, and then Devontae Smith for 50 as well.
Yep, exactly. Got all receivers in here for receiving yards in these games that we think are probably shootouts, except for the Bills one, but that's why I didn't really like the receivers there, so I just took Josh Allen over 25 and a half.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I think that's really gettable. The only one that I doubt is Josh Allen.
Oh,
Surprisingly,
really?
like we know he can get it. It's just whether or not he's going to run that much in that game.
Well, and also it's like if he's going to need to run.
Right.
Because if he's
That too.
slinging the ball and it's literally just dimes all over the place, then it doesn't matter. He's not going to ever run out of the pocket.
Right. Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna hop into mine. I've got one extra leg. I've got 6 legs, not the 5. So
Okay.
I've got Jamison Williams as well. for
Oh,
70 plus receiving
oh, you're
yards.
taking him for 70. Lord, what does that
Yeah,
play?
he's done it in every game except for one, I believe. One game he only had like 9 yards, or maybe it
Okay.
was 29 yards, or something super weak. Other than that, he gets over 70. So I was
Yeah.
like, why? Because I was gonna throw in 50 like you did, but then I was like, why would I screw around with that when he clears 70 every time?
Hmm.
Like, let's just jump to 70. So I just jumped to 70. I've got Kenneth Walker, 100 plus rushing plus receiving. Love that line. Jordan Love, 2+ passing touchdowns. He's done that every week since he came back. AJ Brown, 80 plus receiving yards. In his 2 games, he's been over 100 both games. So I was like, give me 80. Let's just go
Yep.
for it. Brock Purdy, 225 plus passing. I ran this when they played the Seahawks last week. Purdy has thrown for over 225 every single game. So to me, it's just a lock. And then my final pick is Tony Pollard, 60 plus rushing yards. Pollard's been on fire this year, going up against the Bills, whose defense is good, not great. So I feel like he's going to be able to get 60 yards pretty easily. And
Okay.
that is a 6-pick parlay that pays out plus 6,991.
Dang. That's like a touchdown parlay right there.
It's actually almost double my touchdown parlay because my touchdown parlays only pays out 4,000. So,
Nice.
and this thing pays out almost 7.
I like
So,
that a lot.
yeah, I like it a lot as well.
I like the touchdown. I like the passing touchdowns for Jordan Love, and I also like the Brock Purdy over 225. They're gonna most likely throw the
Those are
ball a lot. This game's it's San Fran and the Chiefs, obviously Super Bowl rematch. It's gonna be Brock Purdy's revenge game. I think. I think he's gonna want revenge for how the Super Bowl went, but that's just me. I
he
think
might.
he's in for a big game.
Well, I mean, you could just take those two prop bets together, and it's probably plus money. Purdy 220 and Jordan Love 2+ passing.
Yeah,
Just
for
throw
sure.
bucks on that. Have a good
Hmm.
time.
All right, fun part. You've hit back-to-back
Here we
weeks.
go. I
This
might
is it.
change my name from BigAL Bets to BigAL Teaser. Like,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
might have to. You might have to get that
we're the streak,
patented,
baby.
trademarked. Yeah, it suits you.
First it trickles, then it pours. Shout out Dr.
Mhm.
Disrespect.
All right, jump into mine. On that note, We're starting off with the Packers. I always throw in my locks of the week, the ones that I bring to the table. So we're taking Packers plus 3.5 versus Houston. I love that. I already think the Packers are going to win. They're literally our lock of the week. One of them, I
Yep.
got to throw them in here. Plus 3.5. Next, we're going Colts plus 3 versus the Dolphins. If the Colts do lose this game, it'll be by a field goal. So I don't mind pushing there, but I don't see the Colts losing this game with a Dolphins team that just is not good. They're not good offensively. They're not good defensively. Love the Colts to win that game. So I'll get plus 3 points on the Colts at home. Next, we're going
Okay.
Eagles plus 3. So we're doing the flip
Mm-hmm.
of the Eagles minus 3. Even if they lose to the Giants, that's fine. We're still going to hit this. Don't think it's going to happen. We have them in our best bets of the week as well. So I'm loving how this is already going so far. Next, we're going Bengals plus a 0.5 point at the Browns. Bengals aren't going to lose this game. Don't be fooled. They're not going to lose this game. We get a 0.5 point. That's fine. I'll
Yep.
take that. They should win the game outright. Next, we're going Commanders minus 2.5 versus the Panthers. We love the Commanders to hopefully beat up this Panthers team. But even if they don't, I still see them winning this game by at least 3 points. So let's go
Sure.
Commanders minus 2.5. Love that pick. Next, we're going Rams minus a 0.5 point versus the Raiders. Love the Rams. Love what they're doing. Hopefully Cooper Kupp is back this week. We don't know yet, but he looked like he was going to be back. So hopefully he's back. If he's back, they're going to win this game by a lot. So, and it should be, the Rams of old and Triple Crown champions coming back. So that's, that's your 6 point teaser plus 600. So there you go.
Mm. You basically, I mean, those first 3 picks,
Yep.
Packers, Colts. Well, no, okay, not
Not the
the
Colts.
Eagles don't count, but Packers and Colts, both home teams.
Yep.
You get plus 3 points on both of those teams.
Plus 3 and then plus 3.5 for the Packers.
Right, and then you got the Eagles plus the 3. So you're getting a field goal on most of these teams, except for like the last 3 you're not, but that's because
No.
they're heavy favorites.
Exactly. Like the Bengals, you're getting plus 0.5 point, so they just have to win the
I mean,
game.
Commanders
Commanders
minus
minus
two
two
and
and a
a
half.
half. That's
It seems like a no-brainer. Like,
feels like free money.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, I don't hate that one. I actually kind of like that one.
Good. I would hope so. I spent a lot of time on these teasers. Okay, I gotta at least hit one. I've been off by one every single game,
Uh,
every single week. So
that's true. So hopefully this is the week. All right, I'll jump into mine. So I've got Texans Packers over 41.5. I teased it from the 47.5 down to 41. The line did change, so I'm gonna have to bet it at 42.5 now.
yep.
Then I got Chiefs, teased them from plus 1.5 up to plus 7.5, so I get a touchdown on the Super Bowl champs. Love that. I took the Seahawks from +3 to +9 because the Falcons haven't beat anybody by 9, so I feel great with that. The Lions, I took them from +1.5 to also +7.5, just like the Chiefs. So I get a touchdown with the Lions, who have played in close games all year. Then I've got Titans Bills over 35 total points. Earlier I talked about how the Titans have scored 17 every single week minimum. So now we just need Josh Allen to get to 20, and we hit that over easily. Then I've got the Seahawks, and the Falcons over 45. I teased it from 51 down to 45. I think that's going to be a high-scoring shootout. So those are my 6 picks, and I'm hoping to go 3 for 3.
Nice. I like that. Seahawks one. The over under on that scares me a little bit for your picks. That's the only one though. I like all the other ones. Like I love the Seahawks at
It is
plus the
high.
9. I love the Lions at plus 7.5 against the undefeated
Chiefs,
Vikings. Like the
Chiefs
Chiefs,
plus
you're getting
seven and a
seven and a
half.
half. Yeah, and
You never get a touchdown on the
last time I
Chiefs. What are you
checked,
talking about?
McCaffrey isn't back yet. So I mean, the Chiefs
Nope,
could win that
he's
game.
not.
So yeah,
And
no, I
last time I
like.
checked, McCaffrey was in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So, and they still couldn't beat Mahomes. So,
Yeah, true. So I like the 7.5 there. It's great lines. It's always so much fun playing with teasers because you get 6 points in any direction that you want, depending on what you're taking. Whether you're going to lower, the you're going to lower the over, you're going to raise the under. Like
yeah,
it's a lot of fun and it doesn't pay out a ton. Like obviously you heard my first parlay, it's plus 11,000. Like obviously
right.
these are more safe bets, but you're also still getting a plus 5, plus 600 depending on what book you use. So they're out there. They're a lot of fun, and it's just a little bit easier, in my opinion, to hit. But then also when you're like us and you hit, a lot of your locks of the weeks, like it makes it really easy to just be like, hey, we're just gonna throw all these into the same one to get their extra 6 points, whichever way we want it, and just start printing. So
Yep. Yep. I actually did have the Eagles +3 on mine, and then I crossed it out and I threw in the Chiefs because I was like, I'm taking the Lions with a touchdown. Why would I not do the same with the Chiefs, who are undefeated?
yeah,
And
exactly.
we get Andy Reid off a bye, and he's pretty flawless after a bye.
hmm So yeah, and
So
then even if they do lose, you still get the 7.5.
right, and this is a field goal game. If they
Yep.
do lose, it's
Yeah.
not. They're not going to lose by 10 or something,
Now if San
unless
Fran,
there's a crazy injury that happens, which does happen. But I don't think that's what
yeah,
you don't bet around like Mahomes getting
I
injured or
will say
something.
I wanted to do a little trivia here. Obviously, we don't know, but I wanted to get your opinion. So we got
Okay.
Niners and Chiefs.
Yep.
Niners are at home and they're getting a minus half point, right? Or a point and a half,
Yep.
okay?
Yep.
So if McCaffrey was like healthy, came back, and was suiting up for this game, how
hmm
much do you think that line moves? That's my question. I'm going to try to come with a question every week for you. Just a hypothetical.
What would the line be?
Yeah. If McCaffrey came back and he was playing in this game, what do you think it
3.
would be? Do you think it'd
3.
be 3?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go, folks. You have it
Yeah,
there. McCaffrey's worth a
I
point and a half.
maybe they'd hook you 3.5,
I think they would. Because
but
the
I think they'd
Chiefs,
love
yeah,
3.
yeah, we'll see. It's going to be an interesting game. I'm excited to watch that game. Should be great. I mean, it's a Super Bowl rematch, and obviously the teams look different. No McCaffrey, no Pacheco. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. No Rashi Rice. Um, yeah, but it
Yeah.
should still be a fun game, and maybe the Chiefs get their first loss here, and then people start talking more about the Niners and all this stuff. It's just gonna be fun to see what happens, like the after effects of this game.
Right.
hmm But ladies and gentlemen, other than that, I mean, that's all that we got for you this week. Enjoy Week 7. Football. It's gonna be a
For
great
sure.
week. Should be a lot of points, a lot of touchdowns, a lot of money to be made, a lot of money. Not for us, but there's some people out there losing money. But we're keeping it 100 over here, and we're gonna keep printing money, and that's all I got for you guys.
Okay. Let us know your guys' locks a week in the comments below. What we missed, what we hit, where you disagree, where you agree, and we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you for liking and subscribing and all the other things you guys do. And let's keep printing money, protect your bags, beat the book. That's what we do here.
That's what we do.